Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So you may be wondering, why do I have the rear of the F80 jacked up? Well, there's one thing that has been bothering me, and there's something that my friend pointed out when I was headed over to Impact. Kind of knew about it, but obviously it was hard for me to tell while driving the car. But the diffuser that I am running is the Horizon Motorsports 3-piece diffuser. I know a lot of people run this diffuser and it looks great. Fitment is great. I've been a really big fan of it. However, there was one issue with it that I was never a big fan of, and that the bottom part of the diffuser here, it doesn't screw into anything. So basically, it just wobbles, and also it's a major rock collector. But basically, it just does that when you're driving down the road and you hit bumps. My buddy, when we were driving to Impact, he was like, hey, did you know that your diffuser is kind of wobbling around when you go over bumps? I was like, yeah, I kind of know about it, but I never really was sure if it was really doing it or not. But I took a closer inspection and I was like, man, this is crazy. It should have some type of tabs or something to be able to bolt to those 8mm behind there. And I was like, you know what? The only way to get this done and to do it the way that I want to is to take this piece off and make some brackets. The really nice part about it is that there's already 8mm right here and also on that side as well. So I got a few brackets handy like this that I'm going to actually fit into place and get this bolted down so it doesn't wobble anymore. So what I did was loosen up this side and that side, got the little 8mm out, and now we can pull the whole diffuser out without taking the sides off, which is really nice. All right, so I got the diffuser off. Look how many rocks are in there. Pretty insane. I wish there was a way to kind of empty that or have that not happen. Maybe close this off or something. I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and empty that right now. But basically, we're going to be making little holes right here and here for this little tab. I have a couple of them to screw into. So they're like this, or sorry, I believe it's like this. I'll figure it out once I'm on, or I'll show you at least. And then once I get them in place, I can attach it to the 8mm underneath, which I'll show you in a sec as well. But let me go ahead and empty that out. That's pretty crazy. And then I'll show you where I'm going. All right, so if we look under where the diffuser goes, the back side of it kind of hangs right here. And there's 1 and 2 8mm that work with the M Performance style diffusers. There's tabs here that they bolt right into. The other one that I had, the Auto Technic one, there was 2 tabs on the back of the diffuser, so here and here. Take those out, screw them in, and it's nice and firm. But with the Horizon one, it goes back further, so there's no place for it to connect to these. But I'm gonna drill a little hole in the diffuser and have those tabs attached to this so it's nice and firm and steady. So I just kind of need to mark my place and figure out exactly where it needs to go, and then we should be good. But I don't have to drill or anything into the heat shielding or anything right here. Just some quick little holes in the diffuser with the drill, and we should be good. So let me kind of get everything marked up, and I'll show you what I did. All right, so did a quick little mock-up, and I think we're on to something. So, sorry, not much light over here, but as you can see, I have one bracket just bolted up to that 8mm right there, and then I bent the tab back, so I have a little hole right here I can drill into, then get some hardware. Sorry, very hard to show, but get some hardware. Then I can drill right into the carbon. And then can just drill a small hole into the diffuser and bolt it up, and we should be good to go. But pretty sure that's gonna work and really hold things up. I'm gonna do one on this side as well, and it should be perfect. So I'm glad I had those brackets, but let me go ahead and mark my holes and get the hardware, and then I'll show you how everything turns out. All right, so I haven't drilled anything yet, but this is kind of my idea. So as you can see, oh, sorry, let me get a little bit better light. All right, so as you can see, we got one bracket there. I can bend it down a little bit more, and another bracket over there. So essentially, it's gonna hold it in this place, and it's not gonna wobble around, and maybe even help getting from all the rocks in there. Maybe I can close it off somehow with something, but I'm gonna focus mainly on the brackets right now. That one I can bend down a little bit. I just had to get the right angle, but it's in its position right now, and the brackets are working perfectly. So I'm gonna mark it with a Sharpie, take this off, and make a little hole, and then find some hardware with some washers and everything, and we'll be good to go. I'm pretty happy with this so far. got some nice black hardware. I may find some black washers down the road. All I had was silver, so I'm just going to use those. I got some washers for the other side as well, and then the nuts that I'm going to use. Now, this doesn't have to be super duper tight or anything like that, just snugged up so it doesn't move. But yeah, pretty sweet. So let me go ahead and throw this on, tighten these up, and then we should be good. All right, guys, no more floppy underside of the diffuser. So as you can see, it is as solid as a rock. Not gonna move at all anymore. Super, super happy about that. Really worked out perfectly. So if we go underneath, sorry, my battery's running out on my light, so it's not too good of light, but the nice part about doing this is you can't see the hardware at all, unless you're crawling underneath here. But what I ended up doing was putting this screw through this way, and then I put the nut on top like that. The main reason is because I wouldn't have been able to fish my fingers in the diffuser to get the nut on there. So no, that way I would just screw the nut on and it's perfect. So super, super happy with that. Bolted right up to the 8mm that were already there. So I don't have to drill any extra holes or anything. I put some large washers on there to distribute the weight. Now I didn't torque these down super duper tight or anything, just enough to kind of hold it in place. And obviously I'll check on them once in a while and make sure they're not loosening up or anything from the exhaust and all that. But man, anybody that does sell this diffuser, they should sell little tabs like that, make some holes or some provisions so you guys can bolt it up that way, because that is way, way better, and it's on way more solid, and it holds it in place better too. I got the fitment a little bit better as well. All right, got some better light for you guys so you can see the diffuser a little bit better. Sorry it's at night, but that's the time I got to do this. So funny thing is, I wasn't even planning on making a video on this or even recording tonight, but I came out in the garage, I was like, you know what, let me just take a look at it. And then I saw kind of how easy it was gonna be, and was kind of lining up perfectly. I had that vision in my head and it just ended up working out. I was like, you know what, let me make a video on it. I know a lot of people run this diffuser and have the same issue. They don't talk about it or show it, but I know everybody that runs this diffuser has the wobbly issue, because there's obviously no brackets there, and people don't really seem to mind it, but I do. It bothered me. Now we got some brackets on there, and it's as solid as can be. Hopefully the rocks don't build up like they did last time. But honestly, it's actually closer to the heat shielding there, so it may close it off a little bit and kind of prohibit for more debris and gravel and stuff to get in there, because otherwise it would just flap and loose and kind of left a bigger opening when it wasn't it didn't have the brackets on there. But looking pretty sweet, really happy with that, and it turned out exactly or better than I expected, to be completely honest. Again, don't torque those down too tight, because it is carbon, and if you torque them down too tight it will crack. So just make sure you just have them snug so they're at least on there enough, holding it in place, but it's not going to be putting any tension or pressure on the carbon. Now before we wrap this video up, you guys know that I just did the Euro tails, which I absolutely love. I did throw a layer of ceramic on there, but I'm actually headed over to a shop, a really, really well-known wrap, PPF, tint shop in my area, and they're going to tint these ever so slightly. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because if we look at the top here, it's a much lighter than the rest of it, and the US spec, it's all red, so it's all unison. So up here it looks a little pink just because of the amber, and it can't be completely red like this, otherwise the turn signal would be amber. So it's kind of the same thing up here as well. Don't really notice it too much, but me being the kind of OCD perfectionist that I am, I'm gonna go ahead and get these tinted ever so slightly. So we're going to be doing a super duper light tint on here. I mentioned in my last video when I installed these that Dubcest, you guys know him with the Atlantis Blue F80, the beautiful, beautiful Atlantis Blue. He did the exact same thing. He did 50% Expel. So we're going to be using Expel or S-Tech, Stec, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to be doing a very, very light tint, and it's going to look really good. So basically it's going to darken up the red just a little bit. It's going to look closer to the GTS tail color. But also darken this up a little bit. Still going to be amber, but it's going to darken up a little bit, so everything's going to flow and look much better. But the reason why I mentioned the ceramic coating is because I got to remove it because if I leave it on there, the tint is not going to stay on there and stick very, very well. So just do a quick polish on them. I'll probably just do that off camera and get the ceramic off, and then we should be good to go. But I'll be doing a separate video on that once we get it done, kind of show you the look of it and everything, but honestly it looks great just as is. But that's just me being the crazy person that I am. But yeah, so we got the diffuser knocked out. Car's looking amazing. A little dirty. I need to do a wash. As you can see how dirty it is. One of my little kids came by and wiped their little fingers on it. It's part of being a dad, you know. In the past I'd be like, oh my god, I'd be freaking out, but when you have 3 kids, you know, it happens. And thankfully the car is PPF'd, ceramic coated and everything, so I don't worry about it as much. But yeah, that was a quick little video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So for anybody running that 3-piece diffuser from Horizon Motorsports or from other companies, it's pretty much the same one. Highly recommend picking up some brackets. I got a bunch of different ones that I use over here for random projects and stuff, and it always ends up working out. And just kind of having these things laying around always kind of helps out with projects like these. I did a very similar thing on my STI with the rear diffuser. Added some brackets, very, very similar to that, and it worked out beautifully. So kind of gave me the idea for this and worked out very, very great. Unfortunately, it's just some random brackets that I have. I can't link them below or anything like that, but I'm sure you guys can find something at the hardware store that's very, very similar. Basically, you just want an L bracket that's like a 45-degree angle or so. It doesn't have to be super thick steel or metal or anything like that. You actually want it a little pliable so you can bend it into place and get it to where you want it. Get some hardware and you're good to go. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. If you guys have any questions at all about the bracketry or anything else on the M3, please let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.